YouTube, what's going on? Solution for the Solution for Kicks. Back with another video. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and tap that notification button so you know when I'm dropping another one of these things. And YouTube can be a part of the Mighty Four Kicks Brigade. It's Sunday morning. It is May 31st, year 2020, obviously. And let's talk about these shoes. All right. Let's talk about these shoes. The room, you know, on the channel, you get into the channel, obviously it's going to be uploaded. That's fine. Watch this later. Watch at your leisure. I am not in the mood to edit a video. I'm just going to tell you all. I'm not in the mood for it. Okay. But we're going to get to that in a second. So if you follow me, you know I was able to acquire the Flint 13s Friday afternoon on my way home from work. And I happened to just drop in happenstance and find these. As I walked through the store, I realized it wasn't much. Nothing much changed since the last time I had ventured into there and checked it out. They were doing the social distancing thing. I think it was no more than 25 people or something like that could be in the store, if that. I can't remember, but they had security out there for that. And you saw the post if you follow me, and you might be wondering, how did I get that shoe at that price? And you may not believe me, but here it is. Here's a Nike bag, which proves very little to nothing, but we're going to look at the receipt. Okay. A lot of you like to see stuff like that. I'm going to make sure I cover up my information though. Okay. So you can see it. All right. All right, and you're going to see this insane price. All right, this insane price. I'm going to get up for a second. Hopefully it comes into view and you all can see it. Okay. So see, hopefully it doesn't wash out. All right, you see that? Okay, you see the date and all that. 148 is what I paid for those, you all. Look at that. Look at the date. Okay. Let me show. Did we get the? Oh, here we go. The date's at the bottom. All right, we got some more information there though. All right, the date's right there at the bottom. See that 5/29, 2020. Okay, 5/29/2020. So I actually purchased those on Friday early, and that's pretty darn odd. I wouldn't say amazing. Hello to whoever it is in the room. Appreciate you. More people joining. I know it's early. I have no intentions of being on here later on. 99.9%. Not saying I won't be, but I have no intention of being on here later on. So I wanted to jump on here now before I get into life. All right. So the fact of the matter is this, and I've said publicly, this was not a sneaker I was chasing after. I was wondering about the hype for a long time. It's been 10 years. Maybe that's what it is. And for a while, people were like, hey, they need to retro the Flint 13s. They need to retro the Flint 13s. And I was like, what the heck is a Flint 13? Now, I confused this sneaker a long time ago with the it was like the fighter something, the stealth, whatever it was. That it has like a similar blue on there, but it's basically all blue sneaker. Now, I guess from his Wizards days, because this is pretty much the Wizards colorway, was the hype behind this and all this. But from my standpoint, it's really this blue. This blue says you can wear this sneaker with a lot of stuff. And I was like, okay, fashionably, you know, it's a cool sneaker. I know people don't like 13s because of this panel, this quilted panel right here. And I remember the 13s came out. I was in Germany in my early 20s. And I can't remember, was it Rap Pages or it was a hip hop magazine that did sneaker reviews from time to time. And they really had some, I'm not going to say what they said on my channel, but if you know me personally, you know the joke I said about this, what they said this quilted pattern looked like. People were not happy with this, believe it or not. I'm telling you. And I believe the chutneys, I actually had the chutneys, and I told y'all the story about the chutneys, why I never purchased them. kind of like the retro bread fours. There's a story behind it that I didn't want any connections to. So did I get into the chutney story? Okay, here's the chutney story. My homeboys and I back in German time. I think it was like 97, 98. That was in my very, very early teens. Well, excuse me, 20s. And we all decided to buy the chutneys. And we had like, the sweatsuit outfits and all that stuff. Everybody had some kind of variation of that black and brown on. You're a young man, you're 20. So we all went to the club. And some dudes decided, hey, what's up, Fist Punch Crusher? Hope you enjoyed the t-shirts. Appreciate you. All right. And some dudes got jealous. So long story short, a massive brawl broke out. And I almost got into a lot of trouble over that situation. So the chutneys left a very, very bad taste in my mouth. And, I never wanted to equate myself with violence in a sneaker again, but it was stupidity because dudes were jealous because we basically went into the store unknowingly and bought up all the shoes. And it was a lot of us. It was a lot of us that did that. So we didn't know that these dudes were upset and decided to start a situation with us that we quickly ended in an unfortunate manner. I don't condone violence in any form or shape. I don't look to confront people in a negative manner and stuff like that. I've never been that way. It's like, don't touch me. Don't put your hands on none of that stuff. We'll be fine. Say what you guys say. Keep it moving. All right. Don't touch me. That's all I am. All right. Too grown for that. Always felt that way. Never looked for fights. All right. But that's all I say. All that tough talk on the internet. Stop it. Too grown for that. But cop these. The sneaker sold out. A lot of people went through a lot of things with this sneaker. Like I said, I still don't get it. All right. And I'm somebody like people like, you don't deserve the sneaker then because you stumbled upon it. You're not really appreciative of it. Well, once again, you got to look at my history with getting back into the retro Jordans, and that story is part of it. I just wasn't wearing them like that. All right. So a lot of these re-releases, I'm like, I ain't feeling that. And it's honest. The hype behind them, like, for what? All right. And that's how it is. But I'm on to bigger things and stuff, y'all. I do have a couple other things that are coming in that's on its way, being delivered, that I always wanted. I'm actually drawing down the collection a little bit slowly but surely. I'm getting rid of a lot of stuff and I'm focusing on different things, which brings me to this. When you saw the title, it says, "We Need to Talk." What's up, Soldier Kicks? Yeah, I couldn't believe some people like it was a GR, it was limited. And right now we really don't know what's limited and GR because of the store situation. And I said this to you all. At the outlet near me, there's a Champs outlet store and there's a Finish Line outlet store there. Because some of the stores aren't open and the malls aren't open in some places, these new releases are hitting these outlet stores because they got to move the product to make way for when they start getting other stuff. The stockrooms can't handle it. And 90 sounded like they was trying to rob y'all. And yeah. What's up, DK03? Yeah, it was crazy, man. We're in Germany, fellow soldiers and stuff. But I always tell people they're criminals in the military because the military is simply a slice of American society compressed. That's all it is. You got the same crap that happens outside of the base and outside of the military culture inside of it. It's the same people joining. That's all. You got gangbangers, you got former criminals, you got bigots, racists, you name it. You got all that stuff. All right. You got sexes, all that, man. They're in there. All right. They met the qualifications so they get in, but within their hearts and minds, they're still not great people until they decide to change. That's all it is. Okay. That's all it is. Oh, hey, appreciate it. Mike Chicago Fire Department paramedic. All right. Dope. Thank you. Pass solution on Sunday morning, man. I did not put out the offer plate, but Mike, the Chicago Fire paramedic, he did voluntarily offer. All right. I'm good. Physically, I'm good. Emotionally, I'm not. and I'm going to talk to y'all about this. We are at a crossroads as a society in this country, a tipping point. Now, this video may not make it, okay? But if you all watching it live, I'm going to talk to you all, okay? And I feel like I'm one of the more qualified sneaker YouTubers. And I hate saying that right now. Okay, I'll say this. I'm one of the more qualified. I know, all right, I'm one of the more qualified adults in this game to talk to you about this. And if this reach people and it inspires and sparks something within your hearts and minds, great. Okay, if one person gets what I'm saying, thank you. Okay, thank you. But Mike, I'm not well. Okay, because you have a physical well-being, a mental well-being, and an emotional well-being. If your spiritual part of it, if that's part of you, great. All right, and however you manage that, that's your moral compass. Great. It keeps you being a great person. Awesome. I don't knock people that we're different for a reason. It makes the world a better place. But we are at a crossroads. Crossroads here in this country as a society of humans. Okay. We experience kind of like a nirvana, if you will, with 8 years of President Obama. We felt like there was change. Okay. There's change. Things are moving for the better. There's progress for minorities, for different ethnicities, different sexual orientations. We felt like progress was being made. Whether you agree with these things or not, people did feel like the change was happening. And even if you weren't black, you were for these things because people were prospering from it. People felt a little better about it. Meanwhile, underlying all that stuff were some unsavory characters who were not happy because the status quo was in danger. Okay. And that's what's happening here. So that's where you see the red hats with the white letters and stuff like that. And let me tell you something. This place was never great. Okay. Never great. The great legendary rapper KRS-One once said, there'll never be justice. There can never be justice on stolen land. There can never be justice on stolen land. How can you deem something as ever being great when you took something from a people that was here already? For real estate purposes. It was not for religious freedom, everyone. Okay, you have to dig deeper into what's indoctrinated in what you're being indoctrinated to your indoctrinated education system, your history, the Pilgrims in the year 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue so he can rape and pillage and plunder. Okay, the Pilgrims came here so they can land grab because they didn't have access to the limited land resources in England. All right, but they needed a reason behind it. Come on, y'all. All right, you need to study history from his very horrible underbelly. By the thing, you know. What's those kids? What's going on? Top of the morning, man. I'm getting into it. And what has happened is there was a catalyst that was put into place, and it was the last presidential election where the people who lost out felt disenfranchised. And some of the candidates they were running didn't cater to what they wanted. They didn't address them. So they're like, oh, fine. All right. We'll just vote for the person that opposes you. Now, understand one thing. I don't care who you vote for. Got it? But make informed voting decisions. Understand me? And do vote first and foremost. That's the problem. If you don't vote, you don't have a voice, and you should not be talking about anything. Your outrage, your confliction in all these things, your outbursts and all this stuff, you need to be quiet because you failed to exercise your right as a citizen in this country. Okay, now let's talk about what this country is. This country is not a democracy pure. It is a capitalist democracy, and you have to understand that. All right, I feel what you're saying a lot in my 44 years of being a black man. I teach my 2 sons, I teach my daughters what you're talking about. I'll stand it. You have to. It's more to what these classrooms. The teaching does not stop once they walk out of that school building. Okay. it does not stop from there. You still have to impart the truth. All right. And not from an advantageous point where you're creating a divide, because racist behavior is taught. All right. So you're taught these things, and the truth becomes the truth for them when they see these things, these stereotypes that you espouse upon your young kids as real. And more so with the social connections they have. That's how I saw the baby's born, doctor smack them on the butt. They don't yell out some racial epithet. They're taught these things. An Asian, black, and white kid can be put in the same crib and will play together forever until they are taught horrible things. Bottom line. Okay? Bottom line. And that's where it comes from. But back to the political thing, I don't care who you vote for, but do vote. All right? I had a career where I've seen people walk 5 miles to a polling station to get a red piece, a red dye on their fingertip, or purple dye on their fingertip, just blown up. Okay, for practicing that, and something that a lot of us just take for granted. All right, if you want change, you have to be the change within, and you have to be the change externally by voting these people who ensure these policies and these the perpetuation of these things in society continue on, because it helps them. All right. So you need to look at what their platforms they're running on and who's supporting them. All right. We say it all the time in the hood. You know what's going on? Follow the money. Somebody sponsors their campaign. Understandably. That's why when you vote for people and they get in office and they're, on their campaign trail, they say, I'm for this. I'm for healthcare reform. I'm for this. I'm for, dashing taxes and all this stuff. But you got to remember, who's paying you to travel the country and talk to all these people? We've already seen the person that funds themselves never wins. Never, because they have no backing by these super PACs, and look that up who they are, and these supporters who donate money. All right. And the healthcare arena is major. Okay. Pharmaceuticals, major. Transportation, all these things, entertainment. Because once you get in, the influence happens. All right. And you have to pay that back via passing bills that help them make money. That's what's going on here. Never once have we seen the flagrancy of someone in presidency just say these things. Okay. Say the things that are fueling this. This is what a lot of people want. This dissension, this divide, and things like this. All right. Now, let me break down to how people think about other people. You have a couple of people. You have the flagrant racist person who you clearly see where they stand. Then you have the subversive racist person that does things in a kind of underhanded way via policy and procedures. Okay. Then you have the passively complicit, where they say, I'm not this, I'm not that, but they allow it to go on. They stand by and do nothing. All right. It's kind of like watching a kid get abused and you say nothing. I didn't do it. All right. Just like that idiot who was trying to keep the crowd back while that man was having his neck sat on. And his thing is, well, I didn't do it. You allowed it to happen. That's the thing. You allowed it. So you are passively complicit. Now, actually, he's actually complicit fully, because that's a culture that's going on. And that's another video in itself when you talk about that law enforcement element. That's another video in itself. I'm telling you all. And let's get down to the outrage. I am not going to water down or basically say y'all didn't do anything, you didn't do enough, or hey, that was that. My grandparents' generation, my parents' generations are from the civil rights movement. My grandparents were adults while it was happening. My mom was a young girl who can remember when these things were happening. Remember when Baltimore was burning and things like that, and the water hose and the fire hose and the dog. She saw that as a little girl. She's told me those stories. All right, she took me to the neighborhoods that, this is the 80s now, still boarded up, that never recovered. And I'm moving towards something. Follow me. Stay with me now. I'm moving towards something. My generation is a generation now who are old enough to get into office. But what has happened is there's this horrible word called assimilation, and it was never meant to be horrible. What happens is once you get into a position of influence and power, you're supposed to reach down and pull others who are pursuing it with you. Okay, bring them with you. You know they're struggling to get where you are because it has to be more of you to be the change. You have to become the change within. All right. Hey, what's going on, B Liveries? I saw your video. All right, got him and 40. Remember? Yeah. This is insane. All right, you have to be the change with them and bring the people up with you to change things. All right, it's not a takeover, it's to change things. All right, it'll never be an equal footing thing if not enough people who are different are represented in good numbers. All right, where they can dictate the change and everybody is getting a piece of the pie. We always talk about the American pie. All right, you think about when you buy a pie, do you buy a pie just to eat it by yourself? A whole pie? All right. People will look at you funny if this is your pie and you go, I bought this for me. I'm going to sit here and eat it all by myself. You slice the pie up and go, here, 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 here. Maybe you get 2 slices, maybe you don't. However, a pie is meant to be shared. Done with that analogy. Hopefully you get it. All right. Hopefully you get it. But let's talk about when you don't get your slice, what happens? Dissension. Okay. And people keep waving the pie in front of you. Remember the scene in Life? They have the pie sitting in the windowsill, and you see Martin and Eddie's characters like basically drooling over that pie and like, I will do whatever it takes to get a slice of that pie. Look, y'all, my degree is in this, okay? Radio, television, film. The message is always in the entertainment. They throw stuff in there in front of you just to entertain you, but at the same time, they're programming you. Got it? Trust me. It's in the books. They are programming you. It's been that way since the advent of radio. They are programming you. So that message was right there. It was like, you're keeping me from the pie. And guess what? I'm going to do whatever it takes to get a slice. If I can get the whole pie, you might take me out for getting the pie, but I deserve a slice or 2 or 3. But you're supposed to be sharing the pie, period. And when I get a slice of the pie, why are you harming me? Why are you harming me? So, yeah, I'm going to talk about this. It doesn't even matter anymore. I had the life-changing time of working with some people who do some unique things in my past career. And they have a motto: the oppressor, the leader. It means to free the oppressed. And I used to ask them about that. And they would sit and talk to me, all right, just candidly, and say exactly what they thought as men in this line of work, and sometimes women, depending on what their job was, were. They would say, you got to understand when there's oppression, what's happening. Okay? What people will do. So eventually they're going to want to rise up. They're going to want to lash out and do things. Bottom line. Okay? And now mind you, who these people were they're talking to me. They told me, and I use this quote all the time when I'm talking to people about situations like this: oppressors only understand 3 things. All right. And let me be clear before I say this. I'm not telling you to do anything. I want you to understand what's happening. Okay. If this is the last day of my channel, so be it, Google. All right. Because that's who owns YouTube, by the way. If the check doesn't come in, fine. I'm straight anyway for the rest of my life. I'm good. But understand this. I'm not telling you to do anything. I want you to understand how it works. Oppressors understand 3 things. Extreme loss of financial resources. Extreme suffering. Loss of life on a profound level. Other than that, they won't change. If you look at every country that's been overthrown and a complete change happened, those three things occurred, or at least one occurred on a massive scale. That's how it works. Okay, that's how it works, unfortunately. And when you're operating like that, you can't keep it up. You can't keep it up. It's going to happen. If they can't do it themselves, they're going to reach out to find people to help them do it. That's what happens. All right. So for so long, people have profited off the backs of people not getting a slice of the pie and mistreating them. Things have happened. All right. So one thing is here's another thing that I always felt very peculiar in my previous walk in life. This country likes to sanction via the UN other countries for what do they call it? Inhumane treatment of its people. So the wonderful guy over in North Korea said, wait a minute, you're guilty of that. Where are your sanctions? Oh, that's very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. Thanks, P. Thanks. I'm going to talk about that too. That's a very unique situation I have with my daughter because I am required to teach her two things. Okay, two sides of something. All right, two sides of something. I'm entrusted to teach her that. So when you have that thrown in your face, what do? All right, the United States is guilty. All right, against crime against humanity because the treatment of their people. Once again, you cannot have justice on stolen land. All right. Don't believe the stories that they tell you in your history classes. Oh, they came here because religious oppression. No, they came here because they were suppressed from being able to acquire land, which leads to wealth. But the religious thing was a good reason. It was very heartwarming. All right. Oh, that's honorable, man. You know, they couldn't practice the way they want to. That much. But hey, I can get this plot of land and all this stuff. And then they throw it in your face again because they talk about manifest destiny. We just got to keep taking stuff. Then you have the Trail of Tears. Oh, we're going to corral all the indigenous people of the Americas located in this area and just put them in Oklahoma. That's good enough for you if we take it everything. All right. But let's be clear again for people who like to operate like this. I'm not saying an entire race of people is guilty of this. Okay. I told you the categories. All right. Either you're helping or you're passive or you're subversive or you're flagrant. That's what it is. All right. You can't sit on the sidelines because it's going to affect you. Bottom line, you can't do it. Mind my business and everything. Then suddenly somebody breaks into your business. You're in there now. You didn't want to be. All right. You have to be. You have to be involved in some sort, or this is just going to keep spreading. This is the biggest unrest in this country ever. All right. More cities are involved ever. Now let's talk about this. All right, because you got some people out here that I told you early on. If you missed the soldier kicks, I said this. I said we need to talk. I said we, capital. All right, not some of us. I said we. This is the largest outbreak of civil unrest everywhere, and within there, you have people who are peacefully protesting to bring awareness, all right, to what's going on. And when you do this, you have to make the municipalities uncomfortable. You have to inconvenience them, and that's what you're doing. You're sucking up their resources where they can be out doing somewhere else to focus on something that they allowed to happen in the first place. All right, you should have been doing your job the right way, so people would not be compromising your resources to get you to do your job the right way. All right. And we're going to talk about doing your job as well in that arena. You have your peaceful protesters. You have your people who are flat out emotionally irrational and outraged or spark, and they want engagement. Then you have the people who are planned it in, provocateurs. All right. Here in San Antonio last night, I was watching some video. There were clearly people who were not from here, not from it. You could hear their accents, not from here, engaging in all kinds of reckless behavior, all right, inciting things. And that the looters are opportunists. That has nothing to do with what's going on. They saw an opportunity to do something. That's all. All right. That's all. Then you have the rioters. All right. Once again, designed to compromise your resources. That's it. You can't go out and do your job because now you got to focus on the riots. That's it. Now, the compelling thing about rioters is that you tend to riot in the place that you rely upon, your own neighborhoods, and you destroy these small businesses that were there helping you, and these people are making an honest living. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you. All right. Now, Ashley, like I said, Google and YouTube, they don't like this kind of talk. They don't like it at all because they're going to deem it as I'm inciting something. I am not. Google, I'm informing. I don't want people to rise up and do anything. What I want you to do is engage each other in a civil manner and have these uncomfortable talks. That's what I want you to do. Because going out there and destroying things isn't happening. All right. However, it gets to the point where I told you about the oppressors, where people feel like you ain't listening. All right. You just lip service. Lip service. That's why they burned down the police department in Minnesota, unfortunately. And I was like, wow. All right. So back to my grandparents and my mother's generation and father's generation. They marched, they sang, all that good stuff and prayed, and they still say that we need to pray. For all my religious folks, you have to understand this. When you pray, you know what you're doing? You're asking for guidance. You have to do something afterwards. All right. Now you got your moment. You got enlightened. You feel like I had your talk. I had my talk with my higher power, my supreme being. I'm inspired now. Get off your knees. You got to move. You got to do something. All right. And that's what gets missed. And a lot of religious people, they frown their face and look at me and everything. All right. But you have to do something. You have to do something after you do that. That's just how it works. I'm sorry. All right. Get mad at me about that. All right. There's prayer, meditation, wherever your walk in life is, then there's action. Bottom line, it has to work that way. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that too, Soldier Kicks. So now in our generation, we decided to get political and try to get in office, but we have failed as well on a grand scale. So now our kids' generation, the 20-somethings going, no. They didn't listen to great grandma, or nor you, mom and dad. We got this. All right. And they're getting busy on a very provocative level. All right. They don't care anymore. People are fed up. People are fed up. And you know something's wrong. You're seeing reporters shot by rubber bullets, targeted and aimed. Okay. Arrested. So there's a culture within the police departments. All right. There's a lack of training. There's people embedded in these departments that should not be there. The vetting process of getting someone onto the force is fractured and flawed. All right. Because you have people who have no business being police officers, or once they commit egregious acts, they're still police officers. And let me break it down for the people who get really emotional when you see incidents of police officers who commit these heinous acts and they get put on, paid vacation. Well, you can't, the person's not convicted. Okay. So you can't fire them. All right. Until they're charged. You can't. All right. So first thing they do is they put them on paid vacation. Then they do an investigation. Then they fire them. All right. Now, once they go through the whole process and they find, okay, they're innocent somehow, you know, if they really are innocent, they put them back on the force. And people feel like that's a slap in the face. All right. But you got to think about it from a humanistic approach as well. And I'm not supporting this. Imagine somebody accused you of something at work and they didn't tell you, they just flat out fired you. All right. How would you feel? However, being in the military, we had UCMJ, and once you came under investigation, it's guilty until proven innocent. That's just how it works. Even if you beat the crap that went on, people still look at you like, well, you must have did something. All right. And you got to look at that. So we get caught up on the messages in here and everything. It was crazy here in DC. Oh, I know. I've been paying attention. That was GT from AG. They called the National Guards. I come back for that. Wolf Souls kicks. For me, I pray before battle, not before tweets and Facebook posts. I come from a military family, demonstrators, not burning down black and doing riots. Exactly. I said that. You're killing your own infrastructure. All right. It does not work like that. Okay. The demonstrations and riots are designed to suck up your resources and impede your progress to do your job. That's what it's designed for. All right. That's not a secret. Okay. One of the greatest books I ever read, and shout out to my cousin, was The Spook Who Sat by the Door. This is a story of a black CIA operative, all right, who actually got in and realized this is during the civil rights movement, to change things, I have to do things from within the system. All right. Now, like I said, I'm not encouraging any nefarious behavior or anything like that. But it's like I said, once you get into these positions as minorities, all right, you have to invoke change, and you can't do it by yourself. You have to bring other people with you who are like-minded to invoke change and bring upon new policies. You have to do that. All right. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. And shout out to my dude Tobox. He and I had a every time we talk, it's supposed to be a short conversation, but we wound up having these 45 minutes to 2-3 hour conversations. And he asked me something. He said, what's your next move? I said, what do you mean? He said, far as your channel. He said, I see some things. I watch you. I pay attention. You're morphing into something else. I said, I am, which is why I said, again, we need to talk. This is fun. This is a hobby. I'm retired. I can do what I want. I'm straight for the rest of my life. I'm not saying that to flaunt that in people's face. I'm saying that is that it gives me the flexibility to take on different interests and focus on different things as I see fit. Okay. So the non-traditional hustle I had, I walked away from that yesterday. All right. For reasons known to me, I'm not going to get into it, but that was that. I was able to do that. I'm fine either way. That was extra, purely extra. Great to have. I'll be fine. Obviously, I wasn't doing anything for months prior to that, or years actually. When you think about it. But I have slowly been transforming my channel into less sneakers into something else, because you watch my videos, I always talk about a life lesson. The youth. If you're in your 20s, you're, young enough, old enough to be a child of mine. And I think a lot of us have, in my age group, have forgotten how to sit you down. We always talk about the OG thing, to sit you down and talk to you. The unk thing. It's just cool to say that, OG, unk, auntie. It's cool to say that, but there's a responsibility in that. When I was your age, I sought out that 40-something, 50-something year old man, all right, that was not part of my family, that was always talking these interesting things, these ideas and concepts. And I sat on their porch, I sat on the stoop. I wanted to hear from them because they lived it. It's the experience. They lived it. Well, how about that? Funny stories, interesting stories, drug it out long. Either way, I was enriched. Either way, I was enriched with that knowledge. We have to get back to that. All right. And that's what I'm moving towards. I'm not really worried about these shoes anymore. If I get them, I get them, whatever. All right. So that was probably my last sneaker review, you all. It's going to something else. I'm fine. Okay. It's plenty of people doing that, but got to transform. All right. We had a white guy from another state. Oh, excuse me. Decal, thank you. I'm in my 20s and still agree with everything this man is saying. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. And just to address Ashley for a second, there's an element, not all of you, within the millennial generation that feel like they never get old. Okay. They'll never get old. Once you reach a certain age, you shouldn't be doing certain things. That's you're too old for that. You're washed up. They like to call us boomers now, and it's very inaccurate. The boomer generation is the cuffs back end of my parents' generation. We're not boomers. All right, we're in the 50s and 60s. Stop saying that. That's I don't know where you got that from, but it's inaccurate to those it apply to. All right, those millennials that are saying that, stop it. All right, stop it. But you all were have grown up with the internet and Google and everything. Everything's at your fingertips. You can find out whatever. I would just like that element to use it a little bit better. Okay. We had a white guy from another state pretending to be from Black Lives Matter, tried to start a riot in Savannah and got called out by local government. See, that's what I said. You got provocateurs in the group. You got to watch when you're out there demonstrating who's around you. Always be on your pivot. Look around. Watch how certain people are behaving. Okay. Like last night, I was watching the footage of San Antonio downtown, and there was like 3 shirtless young black men whose accents clearly didn't match up with San Antonio. All right. It's no way they could have moved here. Their body language, all that stuff says you're not from here. All right. The way they were talking and everything, they were looking for opportunity. All right. Those 3 should have been policed by the group. However, that element after the protests, the real protests had stopped, was now morphed into opportunity when it gets dark. All right. We can move through the shadows, stealing cowboy hats and candies out of the store because they couldn't get into River Center Mall at the moment. Opportunists. 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 I used to live in Savannah, by the way, with Souls Kicks, right off Highway 17 towards the Richmond Hills area. I used to live there. All right. But Banks, shirt is dope. Thank you. All right. I'm wearing this for a reason. If you're unaware, shout out to Power and Black t-shirts. They have a lot of positive, quotes on their t-shirts. This actually is from the Starbucks incident with the real estate agents. I believe it was in Atlanta where, they kicked them out the store, out of the Starbucks. All right. And really, we have every right to be everywhere, period. We're citizens. All right. Then this hat is a Rosa Parks quote. Nope. And I kept telling y'all in my videos, I leave little tidbits and hints. Okay. Little tidbits and hints that I'm about to do something. I put symbolism in all my videos all the time. And there's always something positive. Okay. Thank you. But check them out. Power and Black t-shirts. Yeah, it's you have provocateurs in there. I'm telling you, it's people that are doing these things because they want another situation. All right. They want, you know what it is. They want another situation. All right. They want another situation to occur. But remember, the focus is on the injustice. All right. The injustice. All right. And the loss of life. Now, I'm going to talk about the people who like to say all matter before Google takes that part down. The fact you have to say that acknowledges that, yeah, some of us don't matter. Think about that. The fact that you have to say that, you know that some lives don't matter to you. You know, blue lives matter, which is worse, by the way. Why do you have to say that? All right. Some things are just, with the fact that we have to sit here and say these things is that we have an issue. All right. The fact that you have to counter it, you already know. And let me tell you something about racist people, by the way. Everything a racist person said can be refuted. Oxygen thieves, the dumbest people walking. All right. Racists are the dumbest people walking. Every time I've had an exchange of dialogue with somebody who's racist, I've been able to eat them up every time. Every time. Because it's based upon refutable and stupid beliefs. And here's why. Simple as this. There's an episode on All in the Family where I think Archie Bunker needs a blood transfusion. If I'm showing my age, I remember All in the Family. And he says he doesn't want the transfusion from a black man. And the doctor's like, you're going to die, basically. Was Archie Bunker another character? People are people. And I always tell you, if you focus on being a better human, none of this stuff happens. If you focus on being a better human instead of trying to be better than another group of people, none of this happens. All right. If you stop saying as a whatever religious denomination you are, because it separates you from those people, you think it makes you better. All right. Be a better human. If you say, well, I'm of this political affiliation and you're not, so I'm better than you, be a better human. All right. If you say I'm of this orientation and you're not, be a better human. All right. If you say, well, I live here and you don't, be a better human. If you stand by and allow things happen to anyone, be a better human. And that's the thing. I tell people all the time, I practice humanism because when I do that, I can't go wrong because I'm treating everybody as individuals. All right. I deal with you on an individual basis. All right. If that group of people collectively are imparting ill will towards me, I'm addressing that group of people, not the entire background of them. I'm addressing them. I will deal with them, that individual group. It's like picking up produce. What do? We just don't grab an apple and throw it in the bag and walk out the store. What do? We look at it. All right. We pick up another one. Seldom does one bruised apple mean the entire barrel is bad. But that's how people think. Why? Because it protects their way of life. It ensures that they're prospering and other people aren't. That's the way it is. All right. That's the way it is. What we got on the clock, y'all? I said I wasn't to go too long. You know, I had no intentions of going too long with this, but definitely, man. I'm just not inspired with the sneaker thing. If I come back to it, I throw it in my videos from time to time, so be it. But I'm morphing into something else. All right. I feel like my experiences, my travels, and my non-traditional education needs to be, of assistance to people. All right. And I'm not here to spread dissension nor divide people at all. However, I want the people who are playing a part in the negativity in the culture of humans pointed out and dealt with. Now, I really believe there's an element of individuals who join police forces because they're power hungry. Okay. And I like to joke all the time. Those are the kids that got smacked up in high school and got their bike taken in the neighborhood and they become cops. Those are the ones. Right. I've always joked about that. Always. What we got here? Mike from Chicago. People don't even know why they're racist. I asked a guy, why don't you like black people? And why don't you like me as a black man? See? Because of social connections and family connections. Mind-boggling. So we've already seen what happens when you exclude a element of society away from things. All right. You have Mexican Americans who come here, whether they immigrated or, they got into the country, without the proper means. All right. But they're here working and they're flourishing, being great members of society. and they work jobs that people thumb their nose at. All right. Those who come here and they go that path to a better life. And it affected the farming industry dramatically. So once again, build a wall. Yeah, okay. All right. Unless you're from one of the indigenous tribes of the Americas, you came here in another shape, form, or fashion. All right. This is a nation of immigrants, period. Other people built this place. But that's back into the history thing. I see top. Okay. All right. Wolf Soul Kick said, you're right, though. Most cops barely made it out of high school. Being a cop is their revenge. I really think that. I do. Racism is taught. It is. You have to learn how to be racist. It's like learning how to drive. You have to learn how to be racist. Facts. You just don't wake up like, I don't like, these people. I don't know why. It's in me. It's in my DNA. No, it isn't. You were taught that. So for people to change who they are personality wise, I talk about this in another level as well, in another arena. You have to experience what I call an STE. All right, Sierra Tango Echo, a significant traumatic event, or your personality will never change. You're who you are until that experience. Something really, really bad has to happen to you to realize I can't do that anymore. It's not helping me. But until that happens, your behavior is justified in your mind. Yeah, hands down. All right, we got 52 on the clock. But for those of us who are venturing out and participating in peaceful demonstrations, be safe. Watch your surroundings. All right. When you see it's morphing into something else, get out of there. Okay. Get out of there. All right. Get out of there. That's what it's not about. And let me tell you something about the media. Being that that's my arena. The job is to be as provocative as possible for ratings. So when something like this happens, they have to dig up the person. Okay. And the first thing is that, well, he was no angel. And I like to go on these news platforms, social media site, because you have this thing called convergence, where your news stations have to have social media. All right. The melding of social media and digital news and on TV, it's one and the same now. So you get that interpersonal reaction from people as you post the news. So I like to see the people that's hiding behind hidden accounts, really saying what they think, the courageous internet trolls, all right, out here in society. And once they start putting out what happened to him and where he was from and all that stuff, they had to bring up previous criminal charges. What does that have to do with the man dying? What does that have to do with it? All right. I've seen it all. Okay. I've seen it all. Hey, thanks, Ashley. I appreciate it. I look forward to hearing more things like this from you in the future, and I support you. I appreciate it. All right. Thanks. I appreciate that, Ashley. Yes, definitely. I'm going to be addressing social topics, you all. I'm going to be addressing it. Hopefully y'all follow me on with this journey, and the shoes will be there. If I throw that in there, it might be like, hey, pick this up last week, and keep it moving and talk about more important pressing things. All right. But those of you still in the culture, I'm still in the culture. I'm still in it. But it's time to move towards what, I really should be doing. All right. It's been coming out of me in the videos. Okay. But I do appreciate everyone that donated and the support. It means something. Okay. But, back to it, man. You got to be that change. You have to. And the media putting out the fact that he had a criminal background, are you saying that should have happened to him? All right. And we know the incident, that triggered it. That you didn't have to do that. All right. He didn't harm anybody. He wasn't resisting and fighting with you and stuff like that. Then there's more footage that's coming out of them roughing him up in the car. All right. So I really believe that this person was looking for something that day. All right. That idiot was looking for something that day. He was looking for an encounter, engagement. So we got here. Blunt Lease 314. Met a number of cops, a few ex-military, coattail riders were bullied. List goes on. Threw the gloves on for racist ex-marine, folded him twice. Buddy apologized for his behavior in private. All right. I respect the family here for the content, whether shoes or for real life topics. Appreciate you. That's P-Town 24. People know who and what they are before they move. The way they move, don't let what you hear take away from what you see with your own eyes. True. I'm going to talk to you all about a very, very unfortunate event I experienced when I joined the military in basic training. A mere 2 weeks into, almost 2 weeks into basic training. And like I told you, the military is nothing more than a compressed slice of American society. All right. That's all. It's still the same people, good or bad. All right. Good or bad. And I had two less than stellar individuals. It was 8 of us in a room. I didn't stay in the big wide open starship things we call it, the big dorm style cluster living area that a lot of people went through. We actually had rooms, 8 and 2-man rooms. I was in an 8-man room. And I had 2 less than stellar individuals in there who would make little comments. And I always felt like they were testing the water sometimes. And I was like, you know something? Ignore it. So I noticed they were like directing stuff towards me. So in this room were 4 white males, an Asian young man, myself, and there's a guy from Puerto Rico, and the guy next to me was Mexican American. And they kind of knew that they were, saying little stuff. So one night I had enough. I said, make that the last time you talk slick. So the guy that was further on the end to the left was like, what did you say? You don't talk to me. I said, yeah, I'm talking to you. So we got up, the argument occurred. His co-defendant, as I like to call him, decided to stand up too. And I was like, okay, this is what we're doing. Everybody in the room got out their beds and stuff. And, we're going at it. And I'm just arguing with him. I told him, I said, say with your bleep, 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 lots of curse words, but I know what you're not going to do. You're not going to touch me. Now I'm going to come back to that point. He still did this and everything. So as he's turning, he decided to throw the shoulder thing. So I said, okay. And I shoved him. I wanted him to turn around. So when he turned around, I paused for a second. Right cross, bow. His head hits we had cinder block walls like you in the projects. Head hits the wall, pat. He drops. I look at his buddy on the other side of the room. He runs up and he stops because reality hit him. I don't really want that. I was just talking. I wasn't expecting for this dude to fight back. And long story short, he was asleep, 3 stitches in his head. They talked about kicking me out, riot act and all that stuff. They wound up kicking him out and kept me. So onward to a 20-year career. That was my first taste of blatant racism in the military. Had an incident in Germany with some Turkish nationals that got elevated to places beyond the military, actually made it to the embassy, and they kind of got watered down because exactly what they did. Sometimes they let stuff happen, to keep the incidents down. So it was crazy. Yeah, I'm ready for him. He said David Stroke kicks. What's got stroke kicks? This made it a point. or to hate them instead of each other. Yeah. But there's got to be a better way to go about protesting than looting stores and burning them down, my personal opinion. Yeah. Yeah, there's always a better way, but actually those are opportunists. Okay. They're opportunists. The goal of the people that's really for change isn't to destroy anything. All right, physical, tangible. It's to destroy the policies. All right. Um, and unfortunately, you have people that escalate it. All right, whether they feel like that's the right thing to do, or their rage takes them there, or they're doing it for other reasons. That's the part. And when you have thousands of people, not everyone's thinking the same, unfortunately. And what happens is the people that start off doing the right thing sometimes assimilate into the deadly side of things, and that's unfortunate. Okay, that's unfortunate. So we know there's clearly a disparity in the reaction with law enforcement when protests occurred. So you look at the incident in Michigan where you had the people storm the state building with rifles, and they're yelling and spitting in the police officer's face, talking about their basic human rights, and nothing occurred at all. So people are really upset about that. That's burned into people's minds like, hey, you clearly handle us differently. And San Antonio is interesting. A city of 1.5 million people, in which I want to say 76. I haven't looked at the hard numbers because the census isn't completely done, but I'm going with some old numbers. And correct me if I'm wrong. But around 76% of the population is of Mexican descent. 7.2% being African American. 7.2%. And there have been incidents here. There have been incidents versus Mexican Americans, obviously, because they're a bigger part of the population, clearly. And like we said, there are people who join the police force for revenge. You clearly see that. All right. They feel like they can get away with stuff. All right. They clearly, I mean, you see it in the military why some young men join the infantry, because they're fascinated with guns and being able to go out and shoot and live out their Call of Duty fantasies and stuff like that. All right. It's glorious to them. And really it's not. I always tell people, if I could have went 20 years without engaging in or going into any dangerous place, I've been fine. It'd been like a regular job. But unfortunately, you sign up and you know what's going on with that. All right. I lived through a few riots over the last few years, and what I've noticed in person is when professional anarchists touch down. Yeah, the provocateurs. All right. That's when things have gotten out of hand. Remember the take back Wall Street? It was nothing nothing remotely violent about that. People were protesting the financial situation, and you had people show up breaking windows. Like, what are you doing? Professional anarchists. Like, literally buses show up and drop people off and embed them within that. That's the root problem right there. I'm telling you, 90% of the stuff that happens, you heard it, the people aren't from there, and they keep saying that. And the media does not want to cover that part because it doesn't help the provocative side of their reporting. They want the most salacious information out there, period. And it's worldwide. I was just watching it was an Australia channel reporting from Minneapolis up there, and they were siding with the police behavior. Like, clearly had on video, shot a guy point blank in the head with a tear gas container. It was like he was getting too close. What? So you got to look at what's being reported and stuff like that. As far as kids, I've started selling pairs to focus on what's really up. Yeah. Like I said, I'm drawing down, man. I'm drawing down. drawing down. I'm going to keep a few pairs that I really, really like. But as far as, yeah, is other things going on. Hands down. Hands down. All right. Be the change from within. Be the change from within. Okay. Like I said, I'm not for the loss of life and the destruction and all that stuff. But you got to understand the human side of it. People are angry and upset, and you can't control the way other people feel. All right. No matter what you're going to say, somebody's going to say, nah, I ain't with that. All right. I ain't with that. And unfortunately, that rage gets channeled into, negative reactions. And, we have these bad things that happen. But be safe out there. If you help, get out there, vote. All right. Vote. Vote. And one thing that should be happening is people should be outside the city hall, those police stations, making them uncomfortable, because that's how it works. All right. You surround these municipalities and stuff like that, and you get them to recognize you. All right. To have that conversation. All right. You don't start destroying stuff like that. Okay. And you damn sure don't start listening to that individual out there in DC. Yeah, I've met some of the Occupy Wall Street movement, and they're cool, but some were excellent manipulators with a gift for stirring emotions. Yeah, yeah. And like I said, people have motives. Okay. Like I said, you have to watch who you're with when you're out there. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Because people got their own intentions and how they're going to benefit from the way these things work. And like I said, opportunists. All right, opportunists could be someone putting out false information, saying certain incidents occurred, planning things, destroying things, and melting back into the crowd. People could be having a positive dialogue with law enforcement, and they're talking back and forth, and one of those idiots could launch something to the crowd, which happens. The next thing you know, all chaos happens. All chaos happens. And that's what they want. That's what they want. That's exactly what they want. It just is. I mean, we're dealing with the pandemic thing, and you got thousands of people, huddled around closely. Wasn't 6 feet going on out there. So, hey, we're going to see what comes out of that too, as well. But it's a very, very precarious time. Let's get into the entertainment side for us. I'm gonna give you all a break. Some of you know about this. If you're still here, if you're watching later, yeah. Hold on, let me get this last comment. Ashley Adams, exactly. Go to the source of the problem, confront them, make them uncomfortable if you want change. Exactly. Go to them. All right. Go to them. This is one of your rights as a citizen. All right. Demand that conversation. And when they aren't prepared, they try to put you off or redirect. Hands down. Let's get with some comedy relief. Right here, I have a gift card of $119. Why is it not 100? Why is it not 125, 150? That's an odd amount to have a gift card. So about a month ago, I ordered a pair of Air Max 98 part of Fresh Mint pack. And I've been waiting for that sneaker to drop below a respectable price for me. And it was just hanging around. I was like, nobody's really checking for the sneaker, but I thought it was a dope. Gray and lime green, kind of lime green, I guess. And it has 3M on it. So I ordered it off Foot Action. I think it was Foot Action, but obviously it belonged to Foot Locker. No, it was Foot Locker. Shoe shows up a little month later, and I get the box, pick it up from my door. I'm like, man, this is weird. What's going on here? So I opened the box, and I was going to do a live about this, opening the book, because I was waiting for the shoe. I actually had the 95s as well. I didn't get the Air Max ones. I was okay with them. I should have got them anyway now. But I opened it up, and it was one shoe in the box. How, Sweat? How? How do you ship one shoe? Now, I'm big devil's advocate. COVID-19, a lot of problems with staffing and all that stuff. But do you not, when you go to ship the shoe, look in the box and go, 1, 2, wait a minute, let me make sure it's the right size. Oh, okay, good. Let me put inside the shipping box with the tag and invoice and all that stuff. And guess what? You have to weigh it. The shipping invoice said 2 pounds. The shipping label said 1.8. So you knew a man size 9.5. Okay. And you still shipped it out to me as if I was going to be okay. So now I'm calling, they got me on hold, calling multiple times. Now I said, you know something, forget it. When I get a chance, I'm going to take the shoe to the actual Foot Locker store. And that's what I did yesterday. And I went in and the young man recognized me. He was like, you have got to be kidding me. So the manager comes up. She was like, what? How? So he tracked down the store it came from out in Kansas City. All right. Kansas City, you've got to do better. All right. And he said, hey, they didn't answer the phone. We can reorder the shoe, get it. I was like, no. If y'all follow the channel, y'all know I had some problems getting my shoes. I said, I'm right here in the store. He said, well, you can get an exchange or, find another shoe. And I was like, let me look around. I looked around and see anything. You know what's going on at the stores right now. Yeah, P-Tail, yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, he and I talked about this. Stroke kicks, QC, definitely sleep on the job stroke kicks. Blunt Beats is cool. We'll get the shoe from the local store. No, they had a size 10. Not good. Maybe came from a store, another one left it on the floor. That's what I was thinking. I think they left a display shoe on the shelf. So some other customer is going to get holes as well. So now you're sitting there with one shoe. One shoe. However you work that out, that's between y'all. But Foot Locker, y'all already on my bad side. So I looked around the store. I said I didn't see anything. And I was like, just give me the gift card. Now, the cool part about it was that they had to give me the gift card for the current price. The sneaker actually went on sale, I think, for $89, something like that at the discount. And wound up shipped to me for $92, I think. Can't remember. I got the paper right somewhere. But they had to give it to me for the actual sale price at the time was $119. So I actually got a little extra. Maybe something comes out, I'll use a gift card on it for something. But other than that annoyed the living snots out of me to no end. And the manager was like, that is so messed up. Like, you're one of the more pleasant customers that come in here. We haven't seen you in a while, obviously. And I really wish we had that shoe in here to get it. Because he was like, I saw you looking at that shoe a couple of times. And we were like, we got the 95s. And I was like, nah, I wanted to get the 95s for like $49. Yeah. The half value. That'd been messed up. Hey, look here. We're going to give you $49. That's okay with you? I knock everything over in this store. And the bad part was the two young ladies behind me, they were listening. They were like, oh my God. Oh my God. I'm not ordering anything from Foot Locker. And the other dude was like, well, wait a minute. It wasn't us. It wasn't us with another store. She's like, still, this is bad. I heard stuff being delayed and stuff like that. So he said, but they delayed it and sent him one shoe. Oh, you guys are terrible. I've seen eBay listing for one shoe or two on the same. It's crazy because they're trying to still make a sale somehow. All right. They try to market to amputees. And I'm not being insensitive. Maybe they feel like they could market to amputees if they have like a lost shoe and they, somebody buy it still. Maybe. All right. I think that's cool though. All right. In no way, shape, or form am I being disparaging or disrespectful. Obviously, I was in the military. I know quite a few amputees. Maybe they're doing that. And if they are, that's honorable. That's honorable. But I would just say give them the shoe. Don't sell it to them. Give them the shoe. At least you could do. It's one shoe. You don't have the other one. All right. So yeah, just maybe I'll find something and I'll use his card up on it. And the stores are crazy right now. Who feels inconvenienced by what's going on now with the whole COVID thing and shopping in the stores? Who feels like it's a hassle and it's a problem for you? I It doesn't really bother me. I do notice people shop faster. I have noticed that people are like, all right, I'm seeing I'm out of here. I was looking for this. The browsing aspect has been condensed a little bit. And maybe people are just being good humans and like, well, I need to hurry up because there's other people trying to shop. I went to PacSun and PacSun only let 5 people in. 5 people. They had a crazy sale. It was like 70% off. I don't have a problem with it. I've been inconvenienced where I couldn't get stuff, I couldn't go places. So it's not a big deal. You're just planning for it. Yeah, I mean, it's to the point where doing the job I did, I was like kind of around people. I got hand sanitizer. It doesn't even matter anymore. You know. But as far as like jam-packed places, nah, I avoid that at all costs. I'm not doing that at all. Not doing that. People are funny, man. Like, put it right here. All right. I get it. We cool. Put it right here. Somebody sent me a comment, talking about I'm gonna be the next uh political activist out there. Nah, I don't have any political aspirations. Politics is a very, very dirty game. Even when you mean well, you're gonna get soiled and stained. All right. Yeah, malls just starting to open here in the DMV, but haven't been yet. I'm so used to online. I'm talk about that online part. It's a problem. Bots have been buying everything from shoes to dumbbells in person. It's odd because people are extra leery of others. Yeah, the bots, it's ridiculous. Like finish line, they send you that little notification. That junk says saying it just keeps circling. Whatever. Um, some of these websites are going to be forced to do something because I know they're being hammered with negative reviews because they keep sending out those surveys and stuff. They know they're having problems with these bots. They need to figure out what's going on, how to combat that in their IT department. They have to do something. All right, actually, Adams, I'm cool. I can shop online, but problem with that is I ordered a pair from Goat and it's been a month and still no shoes. Hope I get both when they get. Yeah, Goat is slow. Goat is slow. Shout out to Goat for I found my Laney Fives, one of my grails for the super, super low, but it took like 3.5 weeks. Goat is super slow. So, the shoe gets shipped out to them, they verified, then it gets shipped to you. And it's it's a slow process and it's even slower now considering what's going on. It's mind boggling. Mind boggling. Matter of fact, I just got a pair. I just got my DMP6s from a month ago. And here they are chilling in stores now. When I could have got them for a discount. Crazy. No shipping, none of that. Yeah. Hey, toe box man, Clinton, you gotta flip that notification bell a couple of times. Turn it off, turn it on. That's what I was told. Drops crash from the shoe piles infinity. Yeah. Yeah. Shoe piles, the little clock thing. Make yourself some dinner. Go to sleep, wake up. They're still going around. The little bar going across. Oh man. I guess I have to do that video. It's come to that point. I guess I owe y'all that video on Raby's retail stores, their websites, the stores and the website. I guess I have to do that. I guess I have to do it. All right, I'm gonna do it right now. Okay, I'll do it right now. Somebody throw out a shoe store. Okay, somebody throw, yeah, instant ship when it's available. They're gonna crack you in the head though. Stroke kicks. There's got to be some computer system logic to determine if a person has multiple emails and accounts. Use my points to champs, Footlockers, Maxes, and yeah, I told you all to sum up that situation. A regional manager, I keep saying this, a regional manager from a very large sneaker chain said a sale is a sale as long as it's legal, ethically, and morally. I said, ethically and morally, huh? Okay. And he kind of laughed. Had that eBay 250. Oh my goodness. See, Finish Line app is trash. And I've hit. All right, so Finish Line. Let's talk Finish Line. All right, I was in the Army. Every time we did training, we had to do what's called an after action review. It's not a critique. All right, it is a tool to ensure you do it better. In this case, I'm critiquing these mojos. Okay, all right, I'm critiquing them. So we're gonna talk about what's good and what they need to fix. All right, and we're gonna end off on a bad note because I don't care anymore. All right, so Finish Line in the store. No issues. Finish Line is more of a fitness-based sneaker store. They got more workout sneakers, running shoes, in my opinion. That's what I've seen. Don't really get into like streetwear and stuff like that too much. But you're gonna have your tights and your sweats and your t-shirts and all that. All the stuff you're supposed to work out in as you turn casual wear. But a lot of running shoes, a lot of fitness shoes. Don't have a myriad of retro Jordan releases. They do get Yeezys and stuff like that. But they're gonna have a lot of bar-based stuff. And you know, they changed up the design of the store and everything to kind of streamline you towards the counter. If you know, they got like the aisles of clothes that kind of funnel you in. So that's not bad. The customer service experience, they don't really, the ones I've been to, they don't really hassle you. They don't really bother you too much. Knowledgeable about the sneakers. A job is a job to some people. Sometimes they know, sometimes they don't. It just depends who's in there. Let me see. Customer appreciation. They're the only ones currently that I'm aware of that still do 20% discount. However, they were the first ones not to allow you to use that military discount on retro Jordans on new releases. They were the first one to say you can't get a discount on retro 11s, period, no matter what they were. So that was a hit on them for that. They used to, I'm not sure if they still do this, allow you to stack discounts. So if it was 20% off in the store, you had a coupon plus your discount. I haven't done this in a while, so I need to check. They did used to let you merge all those. All right. I don't know if they still do that. But at one point they weren't. And I was told it was manager discretion because, you know, they had their target sales goal for the day or the week or whatever. And I guess certain managers felt like here in San Antonio, there's Military City, USA, there's 3 military bases, retirees, veterans, reservists, all that. They got cards, dependents. We're losing a lot of money from that. So no, we're not going to do that. Yeah. So the discount part is a good thing / kind of murky bad thing. So let's talk about things they don't do so well. Their app. Good luck. I've actually hit on them one time for the braids. So you get 2 claps for that. Other than that, that is bot city. It's like, what's the point of notifying you via text, email, and the app notification if you're just going to be sitting there swirling around in the queue? And it says if you refresh it, you go to the end of the line. Is there really a line in the first place? Fix it. It's horrible. All right. That your app is bot friendly. I'm going to go ahead and say it. And you don't care. So that's Finish Line. Shoe Palace. I love Shoe Palace for the customer service experience inside the store. All right. I'm going to talk about the password thing for another app. All right. 2 of them actually. So Stro, hold on for a second. We got NWO Prime. I never shopped at Champs or Finish Line. We only got hit the Foot Locker. Dang. Where are you? Where you at, NWO Prime? With Soul Kicks 14, the worst crash prone site ever. Is finish line. The store, they need more apparel choices. Was it not shrink the store how they did? Yeah, they did compress it. I don't think they're ever going to bring out more apparel in the store. They do have Popular Demand is a streetwear brand that they do have online. They don't have it in the stores I've seen though. All right, so Shoe Palace. I love Shoe Palace in-store customer service experience. Never had a problem with them. All right, they're great. Know a lot of them, different locations and stuff like that. Never had an issue with them. What Shoe Palace does when they did not have discounts, they don't advertise their customer service discounts. I think that's part of the marketing thing. You have to inquire. When you get to that counter, you have to ask because you never know. Because they don't do that, they have a lot of sales. A lot of stuff goes on sales with them. It's kind of odd. So I always tell people before you settle on a shoe, you might want to make the rounds through the mall and compare it. But they don't allow you to price match with another. That's a negative right there. They don't allow you to price match with another shoe company. But in-store is pretty good. Check their sale table. You never know what's on the sale table sometimes. You just never know. I found some gems on there. And it's depending on the market that you live in. Because some shoes just don't sell well in certain areas that you find dope. It's crazy. They generally have first come, first serve versus a lot of other stores. So your retro release, unless you just need, they don't give you discounts on retro Jordans for a fact. Okay. North Carolina. I used to live in Fayetteville. Fayetteville. And it's been a minute. I can't. That was 2000, 2003. So things are dramatically different. I haven't been through there in a while. But Shoe Palace, you can't get a discount from you can't get a discount on retro Jordans. But not really a problem because they do first come, first serve a lot of times. And I never had a problem with their raffle system. I tend to hit. Maybe because I know them. You know, I don't know. Maybe they're looking out for me. Who knows? But thank you. All right. I've been able to get quite a few of my retro ones from them. You know, I'm just like, all right, I can't get them for the low. I'm cool with that if I really want to shoot. What else? They have I'm not sure what's going on with Bascom Project. It's like their streetwear brand they have in there. I like a lot of their shorts and shirts and sweats. They haven't had much of that lately. You might want to check their clearance things sometimes because there's a discount on top of some of that stuff a lot of times as well, and you get it for the crazy low. They tend to have a bigger variety for women's sneakers too. I did notice that. Also kids as well, and a massive variety of brands that most people don't check for. And they have their own collabs with a lot of sneaker companies as well, I noticed. Customer service has always been on point. Don't really bother you too much. A little easy to build relationships with them and get a little insight and everything. Negative, I can't really say I've had too many negative experiences with them as far as getting a shoe, because they have improved a lot. Now, some of the shoe palaces are bigger than others, I've noticed. It just depends on the location. And they do work in concert with a lot of times. They're quicker to say, hey, we don't have it, but this store here has it versus another store. I did notice that. If you don't mind driving here, you can go there. All right. And they get them. And also a lot of the locations, especially in San Antonio, because where they are, some people aren't looking for like retro hype sneakers. So that particular store may have way more than another store. So I have noticed that the market is kind of odd in some areas, and it's to your advantage. Now, online, they don't have the best website. Good luck if you're trying to get a retro. I've never hit on anything with them ever. That little timer clock, just hang it up. I joked about it earlier. They need to fix that. Shipping wise, haven't had a problem with them. All right. Haven't had a problem. No problem issues with them. I always got the shoe in a decent time. Actually got my shoes a little early too. Cool with that. But no issues. But that timer for the releases, good luck. Good luck. Once again, the bots. So that's Shoe Palace. Next up is Hibbett. Hibbett was doing well. Now, Hibbett owns City Gear now, but City Gear still flies their own flag, but they belong to City Gear. Now, some Hibbets have streetwear, a little bit of it, but they're more of a sporting goods still type of store. That's why I know. First time I came across Hibbett was 2009 in Hinesville, Georgia. I had never heard of them before, but that's where everybody was getting their sneakers from. I was like, oh, it's like a sporting goods store, but they had like hype stuff in there. They had Coogee. Everybody down south was rocking Coogee short sets. Okay. Not a diss to you all, but I was kind of like, oh, y'all still wearing that? Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, Ashley Adams, we got Shoe Show. If it's that gay thing. Oh, man, I guess you get some Vans from Shoe Show. What was it? Shoe Circus. Which one has Vans? Can't remember. But yeah, I gotta put them together. Now, City Gear has the streetwear and everything. Stuff that I'm gonna look odd if I wear it because I'm older. So I don't really buy the streetwear from Hibbets. It's just not a good look for me. Like, I'm too old to be wearing that. But they do have a lot of sales if you pay attention. Pick that shoe up and look on the bottom. City Gear does a crazy sale from time to time. They'll do a buy one, get the second shoe for $1. And I have some sneakers up here where I got that. They have this table. And they have some pretty good steals on there as well. They will do that. As far as the discounts, they don't really have discounts like that. But I've on Hibbett City Gear a couple of times. Now, shipping. All right, once again, shout out to my dude P-Town for this. Air Jordan 1. Hey, what's going on, Air Jordan 1 OG? It's the best barbershop wardrobe. All right, kids, good question. What do you think about the Hair Sixes? Do you think they will sell well? I get to that in a second. They really don't have discounts, but you need to pick up the shoe and look for that red sale dot on there because they have some stuff that goes on sale. Like they got that on sale. That's crazy. So you might stumble upon some steals and deals. Customer service, they speak to you when you come in. Here in San Antonio. Yeah, that's enough. You buy something, you buy something. Other than that, you'll be asking the questions. So yeah, that's them. But as far as the sales, I tend to check them out and I stumble upon some stuff from time to time. And I have lucked up on some things for the super low with them. So I don't really worry about the discount too often because the sales steals that I find. I might go and find like a cool snapback or something like that. Yeah. So they're kind of mid-range right there. On the scale of 1 to 10, they get a 5.5 because of the customer service experience. It's kind of like you buy something, which means they don't work on, sales commissions like Foot Locker and stuff. All right. Was it El call? What? I can't see what he wrote. Okay. Yeah. So they get about 5.5. Next up is Shoe City. Unless you live in the DMV, Baltimore area, you may not be aware of Shoe City. Look them up, YCMC, Your City, My City, that stands for. A staple in the Baltimore and DC area for our sneaker companies. I like them because the store I used to go to in Edgewood, Maryland, outside the last base I was stationed at, always had crazy sales. Customer service was on point. I was cool with the manager. He would tell me when he called me, like stuff would be in, because I would just drop in on a Friday and I walk out there 2-3 pairs of sneakers for the crazy low. A lot of stuff would get sent out to them because they were like the furthest far-flung store, I understand. And they would just get dumped with stuff that other places didn't like. So a lot of my crazy looking mids that I have came from that store. So the customer service experience is on point. They do have a lot of streetwear gear in there. A really big collection of of women's and children's shoes. And they follow the trends of the region that you're in. So in that area, you'll see a lot of New Balance that you would never see anywhere else. Some Air Force Ones, retro Jordans. Yeah. And it's always some wild sale going on in there. So really like them customer service experience. The website, because their infrastructure is kind of small, so I think they can put a little bit more on it. If you follow Pat is Dope, he's got some kind of situation going on with them. That's who he gets his shoes from. That's Shoe City. He's the one doing the early reviews for Shoe City. That's Pat is Dope. All right. So they get a solid 8, and they lose 2 points because I can't get to them and walk in the store anymore. If they come to Texas, a lot of stores are in trouble, hands down. Next up, DTLR, and I think Villa are one in the same now. Villa was, I think, out of Philly at one point. They had a couple of stores everywhere. The knock on DTLR is this. And let me back up for a second. City Gear. No exchanges. No refunds. 14-day exchange. DTLR/Villa, City Gear/Hibbett. Yeah. So that's a problem with people. So when you commit to a sneaker, you committed to a sneaker. You ain't getting your money back. All right. And I understand it because a lot of times people looking like, oh, dang, I can't resell those. I'm going to return it. Resellers. Yeah. So they do that. But DTLR, a lot of streetwear, they kind of are known for that back home in Baltimore. We don't have a DTLR here in San Antonio. I don't know if they have one in Texas, period. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I just haven't heard of one. I don't check. They, back in the day, I don't know what their hiring process was, but it wasn't great. It wasn't great. I'm going to say it. This is not being sexist at all. They would find the cutest young females to work in there, and it felt like the club because I think they had like their own streaming radio station or something at the time. Music turned up, and I think other stores copied them. So you're in there, no discounts, no refunds, a lot of sales though. A lot of sales, and that was their thing, and a lot of streetwear. But I never really liked DTLR. Now, their outlet, you can find some stuff. They do have a DTLR outlet in Baltimore. I think it's at White Marsh. I think that's where. No, take that back. It's in Pasadena. All right. No, it's 2. It was one across from the other one in White Marsh, and there's one in Pasadena. But if you got the time, you can peruse through there and find something if you're back in that area. But customer service, like I said, back then, last time I was in that store was 2017, and I wasn't thrilled with the customer service experience at all. It's kind of like I'm annoyed. You don't like your job, don't work there anymore. That's the way I feel about it. Never went inside Villa. Website-wise, yeah, typical stuff. Never got a retro limited drop from them. Never tried with them. But they do put stuff on sale quite a bit. So we have the Foot Locker, Foot Action Champs, Foot Action Umbrella. The Flex account. Let's talk about that. I don't know what you're doing with that Foot Locker. I haven't benefited from it. Others haven't benefited from it. I think we'd rather just go back to the coupons and point system thing, period, instead of this thing you came up with. It's not helping anyone. All right, trash it. It's not working. Okay, it's not working. Even with the old receipts that you had, you're not uploading that stuff. It's trash. It's not working. Do something about it. Far as getting a retro release, good luck. What you do, and somebody mentioned, what was it? About login. Let me scroll. Yeah. Nike, the sneakers app, has this weird thing that it does when you're trying to get a retro drop. It'll log you out. The day of release, log you out. Foot Locker, Foot Action Champs, same thing. You could have been on there scrolling. As soon as a retro release hit, boom, log you out. And most of us don't remember our password. So now you're trying to reset your stuff and everything, and you're losing time. I think that's done intentionally, okay? Or somehow the bots are doing stuff to kick people out so they can jump ahead of you in the queue system. You need to fix that, Foot Locker. That's disgusting. Any other day, I'm sitting on this scrolling away, no issues. I tap, go on there. Release day, somehow I'm magically logged out. And right before I can go in, fix my stuff, I'm good. I'm in there. I'm scrolling on, waiting. As soon as it drops, boop, I'm logged out. How? How does that happen? That's crazy. All right, so fix that. In store, no issues. None at all. No big problem. Foot Action has more of the street gear stuff. Champs has more of the athleisure type stuff. And, you know, Foot Locker is pretty much the flagship store, House of Hoops, all that good stuff. Same thing. Never had any problems with them. No issues inside the store besides shipping. Good luck getting a hold of somebody on the phone right now. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they slashed the staff and whatever. But yeah, as far as shipping, they have been messing up. And back to Hibbett Sports. I forgot about Hibbett lost the shoe. All right, but they did give me my money back. Now, Champs, I ordered my Fire Red 5s from them. I looked, saw the confirmation, all that good stuff. Never saw the shipping confirmation. Went back and checked again. It said cancel. Where's the shoe? All right, cancel. Didn't even tell me. No email, no nothing warning me. Cancel. Yeah, cancel. Just nothing. No, not even, hey, on the account, nothing. No notification, just canceled it. But I get a notification from, I have this thing called Ship. It sends me a notification something is on its way. And I was like, what's this? Went and looked. It's the shoe. They never charge me. Never charge me. So I got the Fire Red 5s for free. I guess I was owed that. If you use the sneaker app, therapist visit should come with it. This is Blunt Beast. He said, if you use the sneakers app, therapist visit should come with it. Dude took an L at the Ben & Jerry because they oversold. Wow. I think they were overselling shoes, and they're losing track of orders. I really think that they're losing track of orders, and that's how I wound up getting mine free. Case Griffey said, I agree. I said, facts. Yeah, it does suck because you're sitting there waiting for it. You know, and the delays and all that stuff. Normally you get your shoes in about 3 to 5 days. Yeah, and I'm going to talk about another company with shipping. P10 said, facts. Yeah. So that's why I said I'm kind of done. But that's not why. But it's just like, this is crazy. This is crazy. It's like, why even bother asking for express shipping? And like I said, the companies don't care because they're selling. I do think they were overselling shoes and had to wait for the restocks to occur. And just like the Royal toes, I didn't even try for them because I was so ticked off. I was like, forget it. If I get them, I get them. I'm cool. Eventually, I managed to stumble upon the shoe anyway. Okay, I've been that lucky where I get the delayed W and I get the shoe later. All right, but that's ridiculous. It's like they don't even care. Like, we made money. We're good. We sold them all. We're straight. Because now I'm scared. I hit on the Flints on Champs yesterday. I hope I get them. Yeah. Yeah. And the crazy part about the Royal Toes, people were hyping them up like they were going to be a GR, and they weren't. They weren't. They were limited. Okay. They were limited. And the thing about it, you got everybody going online pretty much because they can't walk in the stores in some places. Yeah. I hope there's zero hype when the red suede 21 retros drop because most niggas don't care for those. I'm one of them. I'm not checking for it. Anything above a 13, I'm good. All right. Hey, have at it. Nope, have at it. They were a nightmare for people. And I watched that transpire. I was kind of like, yeah, I'm done. Whatever. I got enough ones for now. But next up on the chopping block is Jimmy Jazz. It should be Jimmy without the J in front of it. First off, here's my issue with Jimmy Jazz. And it's not even retail related. They held a sneaker battle and they allowed a reseller to battle with the guy. And I'm biased because DJ Drama is my dude. All right. My dude Die. That's my dude right there. Cool guy. Kicks and fits. That guy's on another level. All right. On another level with it. So I always shout him out. I'm like, wow, I got that same shirt. I never thought to put that together. Thank you. You know, that's Die right there. But they allowed him to battle another sneakerhead. It was actually a reseller. And this dude was pulling out grade school sneakers. You shouldn't be able to battle with a sneaker you can't put your foot in. You know, he's battling with his resale stock, and they allow that to happen. So Jimmy Jazz, you're trash for that, and I let them publicly know. They caught a lot of backlash for that too, and they couldn't address it. That's how bad it was. They just, we're gonna wait this out. We're gonna ride it. They do. Their customer service terrible. You walk the detail off or word tolls on. Wow, nice. They do suck. All right. Yeah. Spike Lee ones. I think it was drama, if I'm not mistaken. I was doing something, I caught it later. But Jimmy Jazz streetwear, yeah, customer service, in store and online, trash. Good luck with them. My first experience with Jimmy Jazz would they always be on the bottom list for me because of this. I ordered my daughter a pair of purple Jordan 6s. She loves purple. She was excited when I ordered them for him. But that sneaker took 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I've seen pictures of destroyed boxes, like bags stuffed inside boxes, sneakers in Ziploc bags. It just terrible. You know, like who are these people shipping the shoes in the stores? You know, some dude had like dust inside of his box when he opened it up on a live. Just Jimmy Jazz is terrible. Terrible. I can't say anything really good about him. Like if I see a sale on there, I'm like, forget it. I'm not messing with them. I'm not messing with them. Nice throwback jerseys, but they at the bottom. They are. It is just a very unpleasant experience with them, hands down. Even when I go in there, music turned up way loud. I get it, the music down, you know, kind of some bed background music. That's cool. But why do I have to yell at the customers? Hey, can I get these right here? And which one? You know, why am I doing that? Because you got the music so loud. That would annoy me as an employee all day. Music turned up, and I'm a DJ. And so, well, did I miss anybody? Did I miss it? That actually physically stepped into Athlete's Foot. That used to be a big chain, and now they're kind of like in a few places. I know there's one Security Square Mall outside of Baltimore, and I think there's one or two. I think there's an outlet store in Atlanta, and one store in somewhere on the outskirts of Atlanta. Yeah, they were pretty good back in the day. They're all right. All right, I can't say too much about them. Because I remember back in the day, that used to be the store. Athlete's Foot used to be the store back in Baltimore. Always had the steals and deals and stuff, the $50 sales. And I don't know. It's like they're barely hanging on now. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. They should change their name to Dope Boy Paradise. Yeah. You got that right. Because that's what you see rolling in with their bags to stunt. Now, another store I stumbled upon online. I can't remember how I found them. It was Lamstone and Hammer outside of, I think, they're in Philly. And they had some high-end, really expensive clothes. But their sneakers, they always have sales. And I got these suede and leather Vans right here. And these are fire. They had like, these were $50, but they gave me like a 20% coupon. So they wound up being 40 total on the list. But they were very, very customer service friendly. They followed up with me, told me it was going to be a delay with my order. Also got a pair of stockings. You follow the channel, you know I like stockings. Oh, okay. Became City Gear a few years ago. Cool. All right. I don't know if they bought them out or they just switched the stores, but Lamstone Hammer. Check them out. A lot of deals on there. The clothes are super expensive. I will say that. But the They emailed me twice, told me the order was confirmed. They told me that the order was delayed and shipped. So can't go wrong with that. Appreciate them. Shout out to you, Lamstone Hammer. First time buying from you, probably won't be the last. There's another store called Survival in Miami. A lot of Sauconys if you're into Sauconys. They got a little annoying when I checked off, though. They just kept, notifying me over and over and over. I had to turn them off. Did I hit all the big stores? Did I hit them all? Somebody let me know. So I close this out because we're approaching 2 hours. Shoe Pals Online is treating me well. I was able to secure Chicago 1 mid recently. I do a quick vid when they arrive on Tuesday. Now, that shoe right there, Chicago 1, the Chicago Black Toe, that exposed a lot of people again. And you go check out the video, all right? The part 2 of why do you hate mids? I mean, people are writing dissertations to disavow what I'm saying. All right. But the funniest thing I saw is somebody says nobody's buying mids. You go on the sneakers app, sold out. That pretty much sums it up. That sneaker, they have so many pairs of them because I guess they realized people weren't going to buy them. They're like, it's a mid. They have to keep restocking them. They're selling out over and over and over again. Selling out. It's crazy. I was in a Foot Locker and I picked them up. And a young lady, she's like, oh, we just restocked those. I said, I got them. She's like, oh, wow. I said, yeah, I ordered them. Can't remember who I ordered them from. And she was like, we can't keep them on the shelves. Like people coming in. And she said, I thought people hated mids. I said, no, they lie. They like mids. People are buying them. Yeah, Soul Play and ATL actually canceled their Purple Metallic 4 release when they found the bots and released the store. That's cool. That's cool. That's a good move. I think they're a small business, and I think that's good for their reputation. These big brands aren't going to do that. They aren't going to do that. They aren't going to do that. There's like a sale's a sale. Somebody bought them, but they were taking care of their everyday casual consumer as well. So shout out to Soul Play for that. That's a good move. Yeah. 14s are hard to come by. You're right. You're right. I wear 9.5 most shoes. So they're out there, but I have to be on it. I have to be on it to cop a shoe. I have to be. Yep. Now the metallic purple 4s was a sneaky shoe, and you had people out there putting videos talking about they fake sold out, or they really didn't sold out, or the shoe stores were lying. Once again, what happened was there's stores that aren't open. So they had to send all their inventory to the stores that were open once they realized that the shoes were gone from offline venues. So that's not necessarily true. You can't use online sales to show that the shoe sold out. And a lot of people use that angle for their videos. They go and check the apps. Oh, they sold out. And then, hey, the shoe sold out. Then I go in the store and it's like, it's right here. All right. Online sale versus retail physical sales are different. You don't do that. Okay. If the shoe's gone on both platforms, then they're gone. But people do that to draw in views, and the sheep follow it. They follow it. But that was the metallic purple 4s are what I classify as a limited general release. And if you don't understand that, what it means is that there weren't a lot of them, but there were enough, but not on the scale of a general release and not on the scale of purely limited release. I mean, with the little work, you could get them. The midwave is thriving. Yeah. I warned you all in November of 2018. Okay. I told you all. I got to keep saying it. I'm not going to beat the horse anymore. I know these things, man. I said people were lying, and we see it. I got believers now. I also got people leeching. I said it. You know who you are. You didn't care about mids until I did this. I'm Mr. Midlife Crisis. You will respect me. You see this gray in this beard? Give me mine. No, I'm good. They tried to hype them by calling them black toes, but I'm going to break it down by showing different toes on classic Jordan 1s. Most people don't know the toe cap from the Vamp. True. That's the official name. Damn. Toe cap. And it's StockX. People go by whatever StockX puts out there. StockX name a shoe a certain way. They get on the surfboard. Hey, these are the South Beaches. You know, hey, these are the Metallics. And it's a completely different name for the shoe. And people just, you know, get on the surfboard, they paddle out. You know, they get out there. It's cheap. Bro, when you showed the Concord 1 mids, I said, yep, people are killing these, but they sold out in Savannah. Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's all strategy when I do stuff like that. All strategy. Then I saw all these big names suddenly want to do you know, you don't like mid video and all that stuff. So it's like, you know, they go down in the hood, you know, they drop down in the hood on sneaker YouTube. People like me that own homes in the hood and go, oh, that's a good topic. Well, I've got 200,000 subscribers. People will watch this and get some cheap views. Let me just remix it. I'm not saying give you my props, but I know who you are. I'm watching you. All right. I got names. The streets know. I've seen your comments where people go, yeah, you got that from Solution for Kicks. And you try to delete it and all that stuff. I see you. Yeah, stop that changing from the black toe Chicago toe. And no one, I told you. That's the stuff they do. Like, yeah. That's the hype is no longer as crazy as we thought it was. They keep restocking these. Let's change that. Yeah, I ain't slick. I don't mess with StockX. They're mere a reference point to prove a point for me, but they are not law for me. All right. When I need to justify a price point, I'm going back and forth with somebody and they break out the StockX thing. You know, when it really is, what's it worth to you? That's it. What's the shoe worth it to you? Oh, I am. Nah, I don't, you know, that's not a diss towards me, Kicks Griffey. All right. I like mids. I told y'all. All right. I like mids. And if people got a problem with it, buy me a pair of limited OG highs. I always say that. If you need a change, supply me with those shoes. And that's rhetorical because we know what you're not going to do. All right. So I can say that. Otherwise, but I take that. I am a mid purist. All right. I am the counterculture. All right. I am the guy that they want silence. And man, this guy's got to stop talking about these mids. They're buying them. Nobody should be wearing mids. The quality is cheap. So what I had to educate somebody on, was it last night? I don't know. I was tired, man. I said there's 3 types of mids. You have the regular base mid, which is the 110, and it's got the not so great quality. All right. Then you have the straight SE model, okay, which has no collaborations, but it's better materials on there. You know, then you have the SE collaboration thematic type thing. And that's the Luka Doncic, which doesn't have great quality on them. All right, but the fact is Luka Doncic attached to the shoe is going to be 130. The other SE models I talk about, they're going to be like 120 or so. But the 130s, that's the Fearless pack and the collaborations where they put better materials on it. So it's 3 types of mids out there. Most people don't even know that. You know, all you got to do is look at the price and the name and say SE. It tells you. If you don't say SE on there, it's going to be 110. It's going to be the lower tier mid. All right, still a crazy colorway if you know how to flip it and wear it properly. You know? Did you order your first pair of mids because of me? Thank you. All right. Thank you. Winning them over one at a time. All right. Bro, people still get GOAT prices. And I'm like, so what? I thought you said mids were poor man's ones. All right, Chris XO, wish I caught my Flint 13s. Hey, good luck. All right. Because those things ran out of there. You going to StockX a goat. They're gonna crack you on the head, Flint. Well, excuse me, Chris. They're gonna bust you in the head. You're gonna be talking 250 up easy right now, and it's only gonna go up for a while until it dies down. If they only knew how vegan leather feels like on these so-called retro highs, they would cry real tears. I got some vegan leather on some Sauconys around here somewhere. It's a fair play collabo. Buttery. Yeah. Yeah, pretty buttery. Pretty buttery. Like I'm kind of scared to wear those because like they're gonna scratch and look bad. You know? But Saucony was doing that vegan thing for a minute with the canvas and the different like pure rubber materials and stuff. They've been on that for a minute. And they actually last a little longer, believe it or not. They hold up well. All right, y'all. It's been two of these things, and I'm about to wrap it up. I think I covered everybody. Got everybody's comments in there. I'd like to acknowledge people, man. I appreciate all of you. Those of you hit the super chat, make the donation. Thank you. Appreciate you. Everybody that just participated in the chat, I'd like to thank you as well. You can go back and rewatch it. All 15 of you that jumped in. You heard what I was talking about with the other topic. We got into the sneakers on the back end. And like I said, the channel is changing. Okay. There's going to be some channels. You may catch me on here next time. You won't see these shoes behind me. You might see something else, or you will see something else. And you might see a shoe magically appear from time to time, but it's morphing into something else. There are bigger things that need to be addressed via this platform. And I thank you for supporting me along the way. And it's much appreciated. Stay safe out there and do be a good human at all costs. Let's comment. The Pine Green Mids really exposed prime sneaker YouTubers. Facts. Shout out to all y'all, man. Be safe. Enjoy your Sunday. I'm out of here. Boom.